Right, here we go. Rates of pay or rates of charge, more likely, and taxes, income taxes, I suppose, or VAT taxes, something like this. So let's do the rates of pay first. So this is fairly straightforward. So we got Bob, and he earns uh, £9.50 an hour, and he works 8 hours a day, and he works 5 days a week. So, guess what we've got to do here? Work out how much he gets a week. Yeah. So we're going to do £9.50 times 8. That will find us what he's going to earn in a day, and then times that by 5. That tells us how much he's going to earn in a week. So £9.50 times 8 times 5, all in one go on the calculator, and so good old Bob earns £380 a week. Rates of pay. They can complicate this by saying if Bob gets a bit of a pay rise, how much will he earn? How much more? Yeah, let's do this then. Yeah, Bob gets a fantastic 5% pay rise. How much more does he get in a week? Okay. So you could do £9.50 and find 5% of that and add it on, and then times it by 8 and times it by 5. Or you could just find 5% of that. That would be the easier way, I think. I'll do both ways. Let's see whether both ways to see whether the answer is exactly the same. So 5% times 9.5, which is 5 divided by 100 times 9.5 is 0.475. So I'm going to call that 47.5p. Yeah. I was thinking about rounding up to 48, but I don't think there's any need to because it's not going to be exact. So if we then take 47.5 times 8 hours a day times 5 hours, so 47.5 times 8 times 5 is, oh, hang on. What have I done? That's not a deliberate mistake. That's just silliness. Let's go back. So that's his pay rise, isn't it? So he gets 950 plus 47.5, which equals 997.5. £9 97.5. So if I call that in pounds, I'll say it's £9.975 an hour. Then 9.975 times 8 times 5, 9.975 times 8 times 5 equals £399. How much more does he get? 399 minus 380 equals £19 more. Right. What about the other way of doing this? Just find 5% of that. That must be better. just find 5% of that. So 5 over 100 times 380. Let's do that. 5 divided by 100 times 380 equals 19. Oh, what a better way of doing it, yeah? So there's two ways you can do it. You can find your 5% pay rise per hour, multiply it by 8 by 5 and then the difference, or just work out what 5% of that is, because that's his pay rise. Much better. Okay. Right. Okay, so you're going to have they always do this. You're going to rent, I don't know, let's rent a bike for £23.50 per day. Now you've got plus a deposit of £50. Now whether you get your deposit back at the end or not depends on how well you look after the bike. But this is just to calculate how much do you pay. How much do you pay? For say 3 days. Gone to one of those centre park thingies. We're going to ride around the forest for 3 days. Right. So what we need to do is do £23.50 times 3 days and then add the deposit of £50. So that's how much you'd have to come up with. So let's do £23.50 times 3 equals, and then plus 50 equals £120, £120 and 50p. Yeah. So rates of pay, rates of charge, that sort of thing. It's always where you multiply something and maybe you have to add on a deposit. Sort of like if you made I don't know, a phone call that costs you 5p a minute plus a network charge of £10. Yep. How much is it going to cost? So let's have a look at some questions on this. Here we go. There's the phone call question. Let's change the colour so we can hopefully see. A premium rate phone line charges £3.60 a minute plus a fixed cost of £1.20. How much would a call lasting half an hour cost? Well, half an hour is 30 minutes times £3.60. And then we've got to add on £1.20 at the end. So let's have a look at that. 30 times 3.6 equals, really? Wow. £3.60 a minute, 33.90 is going to cost us hundreds, isn't it? Plus £1.20. £109 and 20p. So there, a warning. Don't ever phone a premium rate telephone line. Never. Because it will cost you a fortune, even though these numbers are made up. It will cost you a fortune. Right, Ahmed has a job that pays £410 a week. How much will Ahmed earn in 12 weeks and in 52 weeks? So we've got 410 times 12 and 410 times 52. Okay, so 410 times 12 is 4920, and 410 times 52 is 21320. Now 52 weeks is 1 year. Now Ahmed is offered a new job that pays £22,000 a year. If Ahmed takes his new job, will he earn more in a year than with his current job? Yes, but you've got to put something else in there. You can't just say yes or no, because you never get any points for this just by getting the answer right, because you could have guessed, and they never want to give you points if they think you're guessing. So you've got to go 22, you've got to use the figures to justify what you're doing. So 22 is £680 more. Yeah. So it's like an argument. You have an argument and you've got to back it up. You can't just say all people should wear red hats because somebody can say why. We say well because of this, that, and the other. So Ahmed will get more in his new job because you compare the two figures and he gets £680 more. Now Lena hires a cleaning company to clean her house. Oh, Leanna, do it yourself. No, it's cheaper. They charge £15 an hour, and she was charged £48.75. How long did it take to clean Lena's house? Right. So this is the total, and this is the hourly rate. So if we divide that by the hourly rate, we should work out how many hours, how many multiples of 15 there are in 48.75. So let's do 48.75, lots of full stops there, yeah, divided by 15. So this will tell us how many hours. Now 48.75 divided by 15 equals 3.25 hours. Oh, first time we've hit this. Now this is hours as a decimal notation. This is not 3 hours and 25 minutes. If we want to find out what that is, we need to do something with this 0.25. It's a quarter, so a quarter of an hour is 15 minutes. So we need to, what do we need to do now? We just take, the 3 is safe, so just take the 25 and divide that by 60. So if we do 25 divided by 60, oh, that's not right, is it? Hang on, 60 divided by 25, 2.4. Hang on, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm trying to remember how to do this, yeah? How about if we do 60 times 0.25? That's the way. So 60 is the 60 minutes in an hour, and we're going to times it by the decimal 0.25, so it's sort of a quarter of 60. So if we do 60 times 0.25 is 15, that's better. Just keep manipulating the numbers till I get the right way. So that's 15 minutes. So the answer, if they wanted you to do it as hours and minutes, they sometimes do, it will be 3 hours and 15 minutes. 3 hours and 15 minutes. Okay, go back to the second part and we look at tax. Tax is either income tax or VAT, usually the common ones. Now VAT is quite straightforward. I think it's about 20% now. So this is a tax, value added tax, a tax on everything you buy. So if you buy a lovely shirt for £12, ooh, it's expensive, £12 plus VAT. And they say that VAT equals 20%. How much is this going to cost? So, again, oh, so many repetitions of the same kind of process. 20% times 12. We're finding out what 20% of that is. So, 20 divided by 100 times 12 is £2.40. So the total of the shirt will be 12 plus 240. which equals 1440. Now you don't have a word, a shortcut, yeah, to try and make things quicker, because when you're in an exam situation, you're going 100 miles an hour, you've got to get everything done. So you don't really have to put the pound sign all the way through. It just saves half a second, yeah, until you get right to the end. As long as you put a pound sign at the end, you're fine, yeah. So that's how to work out VAT. It's just a percentage increase, really. We've done that before. What about tax? What about income tax? Now, I don't know whether you're aware, because I've no idea how old anybody is that's watching this, or who's watching it, or where you're watching it. But generally, in the UK, income tax is something that you pay on the money that you earn from work. Yeah, and we have a thing where I can't really remember the number. Say the first £10,500 is tax free. Yeah. Afterwards, you pay 20% tax. So everything over £10,500, you're going to lose 20%. Swans off to the government to build high-speed rail tracks to nowhere and stuff like this. So you'll get the thing. Let's go back to Bob. Bob, he's got a new job. Bob's new job. Bob's. Oh, that's a mess. Sorry. Bear with me. Bob. Bob's new job pays £21,000 a year. How much does Bob get of his £21,000? Well, we know that the first chunk is tax free, so let's take that away. So £21,000, take away the 10,500, which equals 21, take away 10,500. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It's exactly half, isn't it? Yeah. Equals 10,500. So he gets 10,500 free, and the second 10,500 he pays tax. So this is a taxable amount. Perhaps he should have earned a different. We'll do Bob getting. He's going to get another job in a minute. Yeah, with different money. Right. So we need to work out what 20% of 10,500 is. Which is 2100. So this is how much tax he's going to pay. So if you take the total money he gets minus 2100, he will come up below with £8,900. Okay? So he's going to lose a couple of £1,000 in tax. Let's have Bob getting another job, shall we? Where it's not. So Bob's going to get a new job. So we don't need any of that. Still 20% tax, yeah? So Bob, he's gone up in the world now. Bob gets a job for £35,000. Fantastic, yeah? Okay, so 35,000, take away 10,500 will leave us our taxable amount. 35, take away 10,500 is 24,500 is the taxable taxable amount. Now, let's find out what 20% of that is. 24500. So this is 24500 times 20 divided by 100 is £4,900. £4,900. So this is now the tax he pays. So we do his total gross income, it's called. The gross is before deductions are made. The net is after. So we've got gross is before deductions and the net is after deductions. There's also other deductions that you could have on your pay, which would be national insurance, maybe a pension contribution, a trade union contribution, all sorts of things that you could have. Charity contribution, and everything gets deducted from your original gross pay, and that's the net. Yeah, so let's take away the tax, 4900. So 35, 1, 2, 3, take away that, it leaves you £30,100. Okay? So once you get to the 10,500 mark, you lose 20% of everything in tax. Let's have a look at some income tax questions. Oh, we've only got one to play with, yeah? Right. Value-added tax, VAT, is paid on things that you buy. The table on the right shows the VAT rates, and this is how much is charged on certain items. So we pay different rates of VAT. So you pay 20% on essentials, chocolate and crisps, yeah? But stuff you don't really want to pay tax on is at 5% on gas and electric. Now, before VAT is added, Simon pays 12p a unit of electricity. So we're in there, yeah? And he pays £87 a year fixed charge. So this is one of the anomalies. The great things we have in this country is you will pay for something even if you're not using it, just for the pleasure of having your house wired up or whatever. Yeah. So how much does Simon pay in VAT if he uses 3,000 units of electricity in 1 year? Right. So it's going to use 3,000 units times 12p. Now I'm going to call that 0.12 because I'm going to change that into pounds. Remember we did that in a previous lesson. So let's have a look at this. 3,000 times 0.12, and then my answer comes up in pounds. So that's going to cost me £360. Now, so that's how much the electric cost. The total cost per year is 360 plus 87 for the standing charge, which now knocks up to 447. Right? Now, he's got to pay VAT. He's going to pay VAT on the stuff he uses, and also they're going to sting him for VAT on the standing charge. Right, so that's 5%. So we've got to find out what 5% of that is. So 5 over 100 times 447 equals £22.35. It's a bit mean to charge tax on a standing charge, isn't it? So even if you never turned a light on at all, you're going to be paying like 90 something pounds all the time. Right, there you go. So that was a bigger one this time. So what was that all about? That one. That was all about rates of pay, charges and tax. Worksheet on this one for you, and I'll see you in the next one.